All right, we are working today on a 2018 Ram 3500. Just going to go over some of the basics of the rear fuel filter, the front fuel filter, and changing the oil, and what I did. This is the rear. I recommend starting with the front and then doing the back after that. What I did was right here, I used a 3/8 inch inner diameter hose into a orange juice canister, bled it, and then once I bled it, I disconnected your electrical connection up here. So undo that plug, and then you could unscrew the whole filter, bring it out, and then when you're not underneath the truck, then you could I just took a adjustable wrench, took this off, put it on this new one, and then put it back in. After research, do not fill these because you want it to filter the fuel as they go through. And if you pour in the fuel that came out, some of that's unfiltered and no bueno. So you're going to prime the system after. So don't worry about refueling them. The only thing you want to do is there's a gasket here and then a gasket up there. You want to use some of that fuel and wet those down so you get a better seal. All right, so this is the rear. Like I said, I recommend doing the front first. Front fuel filter is right up here. Here's your brake fluid, and you'll see, here we go, you can see that yellow cap, and then that's the fuel filter lid. What I did was I took a garden hose, and like I said, I started with this front one. Take a garden hose to the clear tube underneath. You take a Phillips screwdriver to that yellow right there, you unscrew it. And then from there, once it's been drained, I believe it was an 1.1 or a 29mm socket. Use a universal. I used some extensions, and I went on the back side of this right here, straight down, and then took that off, and then put that in. That had a fuel filter, and it was, for me, it was, once you take the cap off, it was actually on the threads on the bottom, you know, part of course, the little dark there, but right there. So that's how I did the front. I'll crawl under the truck and show where I went. So the clear tube, the pickup tube, no, sorry, it's not a pickup tube, your drain tube is right there, and that's where I put the garden hose out. I came down, I put the garden hose in between your differential and here, and came down, and then it held it right nice there. So like I said, do the front first, then do the back, and then I drained the oil after that. So make sure that the truck is warm. I put this easy valve on to make it, the future will be nicer. I of course splashed oil everywhere, and I could run that 3/8 inch diameter hose over that nipple and bring it down, and I won't have that problem anymore. So with that, what I recommend, of course, the truck was warm. Your initial to take that plug out is a 3/8 inch just drive. It's just the male end, using extension and or the socket, and just take that plug out. I read things like 35 was the torque, and then you know, with fluids on it and stuff, it'll change, and guys think that was over torque. So a lot of guys online were saying to torque that to 25, so it's not so, you know, likely of stripping out and then over torqued. All right, so that's the oil drain plug. Once you got it draining, I would again vent your fuel cap, and that'll get more out there. And then with changing the oil filter, it's right there. I recommend there's a plug that goes in there, and then to get the wrench that bites down It's kind of tight. You could probably get one of the belts on there. You could probably get one of the sockets with the cap on there, but I'm recommending that wrench. I believe the diameter of the oil filter was like 3¼ inches, so just with that wrench, I think that's the plan for the future. So basically undo it, drop the oil filter down, put the plug in, and then lift it out. That is my fuel filters, front and rear. Like I said, do the front first, then the back, and then oil change. I used 3 gallons of the Rotella T6, and you'll be all set.